Hello and welcome to JOKAKAKA's EVA cast. We're watching through Evangelion, the original series. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
You know the drill. This is my 7 millionth rewatch of EVA. This is Sam's first watch of EVA. He's experiencing it through virgin eyes.
Other than the word of mouth stuff or the iconic stuff I've seen throughout the years from various people.
Yeah, there's so many small details in EVA though that I would be totally surprised if you had like everything spoiled for you. Like there's so many small character things that
There's a lot that has been like spoiled in some way. I think more so to the ending of anything that I've seen.
Well, that's honestly to have something spoiled for you. That might be like one of the more expected.
It's more so the context, I guess, of the stuff that's been spoiled for me. But
yeah. Well, yeah, so we are here to talk about episodes 11 and 12 of the main series, the original OG.
You're going to a lot of just 2-episode batches. I'm not sure if you're going to change to 3, but
this has worked out really well for us, I think, just because each one has kind of been like either a deliberate two-parter or like a thematic one. The last time we talked about Magma Diver and the Asuka and Shinji team-up one, and that's kind of like our first taste of like the beginning of the Monster of the Week thing. This episode 11,
it's just like the gang comes together too.
Exactly, yeah. This is the first time that we actually have like all of our Evas deployed at once.
Which is weird. It's just like the weird thing about Rei is about like she just kind of shows up with them instead of just like them. Like you think like maybe they'll have them trying to like try to get her to join them for a little every so often. Like is more represented that they're trying, but she just kind of shows up with them. Like, or if anything, like a throwaway line of like, "Oh yeah, we got you to finally join us" or something. But she just kind of shows up with them now.
Yeah, she's just always kind of been there, and it's interesting because Rei is obviously an extremely important character.
Yeah,
but she was very like nothing.
She had her two-parter, and then she fucked off.
Yeah, she really did.
Despite like kind of like having like actually a conversation with Shinji and actually being like syncing with Shinji and everything.
Kind of like what I mentioned last episode of our recording, where like Shinji and Misato kind of had their little arc. Like they advanced their social link to an acceptable endpoint for the time being.
Even at some point,
she'll
where like
come back later,
especially during like the little party they had, like Misato was the one that dragged her to the party, like or at least the one where like where they showed like her and Shinji syncing up together. Like, yeah. If you had like, more line to that, or like Misato being referenced as the one that like wants them to like hang out more, I understand that. But yeah, she just kind of like she's now just hanging with them, I guess. And the more to get like Asuka butting heads with her, this a one-sided rivalry essentially.
Yeah, from like a writing standpoint, I think it was pretty smart to kind of have Rei take a backseat when Asuka jumps in.
Yeah,
because we really needed to like get a lot of focus on Asuka.
She also has a huge personality where like Rei is like none whatsoever essentially.
Yeah.
Other than just kind of being, I'm not sure if we're babied by Gendo, but like having like Gendo actually being attached to one of the pilots is like the thing to her.
Yeah, Gendo did show like some care about her, which is more than he's.
Yes.
I don't think he even has acknowledged Asuka's existence.
No.
Yet.
Have you spoken a word to Asuka?
No, he hasn't been around.
Like even with the audio recording of like them being to the audio of him, it's nothing there to her.
Yeah, the closest was he was setting up he was in the finale of episode 11 that we just watched, but he didn't even like look at her or talk to her. He didn't really care. He really only wanted Kaji to come.
Yes. He loves Kaji.
Yeah, he loves that little dastard.
Little sexual deviant.
But so yes, episode 11 of Evangelion is called, the two titles are In the Still Darkness and The Day Tokyo 3 Stood Still.
Mm-hmm. Obvious reference to the day the Earth stood still.
Wait, I've never heard of that before.
No, never. Who know that movie?
You know, I've actually never seen that movie, but
really?
I know about it. Like I'm familiar with the premise. Oh, they did a remake too, didn't they?
Keanu Reeves was the titular alien.
Well, he was the titular day that stood still.
The titular day. But
so yeah, this one is actually, I think,
or it didn't exist at the time. So only the original like 50s one existed at the time of the anime was made. So
that's true.
Keanu Reeves was just a baby at the point.
I do think that these two episodes are very strong. This first one, so episode 11.
I like the premise of this one. It's just another like, hey, what if this incident happened during it? How would Nerve react to no power?
Yeah, it's really, and it's kind of interesting too, because I mentioned this while we watched it. When you're watching like one of the first episodes when Shinji's going through Nerve headquarters and he's getting lost, and you think about like how could this place run like without electricity? It kind of answers that question. Like everything would cease to function.
It's like, how would this like Star Trek spaceship function if it had lost power, so none of these automatic doors would work like the way it would want?
And I love the kind of like, it's almost making fun of like the convenience of everything, because Ritsuko even says like this is like the most modern technology that we have building this, and it's like totally useless when the power goes out.
Yes. So yeah, that's basically the backdrop of this episode. Is like, so it also runs along with the gag of the episode where like someone asks a question and it's like, and shit, the answer is like immediately right there.
Yeah, like it'll cut to a different scene and it's like the character responding to it. I can't think. There's a movie. I feel like there's a director that has a style like that. I can't think of who it is. It is kind of an Anno thing, though.
I do think of the one. It's not like at all, but like the Austin Power thing. Like, look, what's in the sky? It's a giant Johnson. Like they always cut away to like the answer to like another dick
my god,
thing.
I have seen that scene.
Yes, it's one of the popular iconic scenes. Or just like having it cut away to like another person responding to it. But like, what's like I'm sure it would be one of the incidents of one of her experiments going wrong, and it's just like, oh shit, something went wrong.
Yeah, there's a part I think where Misato Asuka's like, oh yeah, the backup line should work for the phone, and then it cuts immediately to Misato being like, damn, the backup lines are down. Like they do that gag a few times. It's pretty funny.
They're trying to test out. They're getting EVA 0 online to function finally, and at the same time, what's it called? I'm not sure earlier, before or after, but like Shinji's trying to call his father to basically, hey, parents are supposed to come here for this future thing, and he's like, yeah, that's fucking stupid, wasting my time.
He's like literally like, it's like bring your dad to work day, or it's career day at school or whatever, and he's like, don't waste my time with this nonsense. Like Misato handles this shit. Like
Ray needs help with it. I'll be right there. Say no more, fam.
There is also a scene in the very beginning that I love. It shows like the Nerve like technicians or whatever you want to call them, like the crew.
He had his guitar,
picking up laundry,
getting into the laundry. You see their standard uniforms and like his guitar's on his back and everything.
Also, it's really interesting.
I don't know any of their names.
It's like a laundromat, but it seems like it's also like an automatic dry cleaner. Because
they have them like zip
all of
vacuum
Ritsuko's
sealed
clothes are bagged when she gets them, and it's dispensed from like a
That's
machine.
That future 24-hour laundromats they have in the year 2014 or whatever year it's to be.
2016.
2016.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's a really cool little detail. But also, like we said this before, like I love getting those little snapshots of these like. They're barely secondary characters. They're like tertiary characters. Getting like little snapshots of them just makes them feel more real. And I think that's why the series works so well.
A lot of them are like, a lot of the shit happened like in the middle of the day where like, we know that a lot of them have nighttime shifts. So like we see like, the one getting like the dry cleaning would have went in later in the afternoon. So like he has to get back to the HQ now. Because he sees the angel, so he has to be the one to let them know. This random fucking background character that you don't even fucking know the name of.
Yeah, I think that's really clever, like writing, and it's a good way to like make it so they're not just like a group. Because like sometimes in shows like this, you're like, okay, well these guys are just like a trio.
Yeah, they're always together.
Yeah, like they don't have any like separating things, but giving him like a little spotlight, I just like that. Yeah, it's nice.
And like as you said, like having like not even just a facility, but like everything, like the city itself, because like we have to get past this giant gate to get to the next area for school or whatever, and it just doesn't work because all the power's down in the entire Tokyo 3.
Yeah, and it's funny too because like it's not like the thing they need to get through with the card. It's not even like
it's not like a subway thing where you can jump over it. It's like
literally a big fucking metal wall that opens.
It's like a checkpoint.
Yeah, like so there's no way you can get past it through like conventional means. There's another shot too that I really love where so there's kind of a few different like groups. There's like Misato and Kaji, there's Ritsuko and like everybody, the crew, and then Shinji and the gang. And Ritsuko has a funny scene where there's like 5 guys like have to pry a door open with like a pipe, and her and the other girl just like casually stroll in over their like fatigued bodies.
Their hard
I thought
work.
That was funny.
But another thing, just like the reaction of our trio, like at the thing where like she's like, "Huh, that's weird," and Ray just does it silently, and then I was like, "What are you two idiots doing?" Like,
I know how to swipe my card better than you, like Veruca Salt.
But yeah, they basically like, hey, we gotta try to get to H. They have to like, we're like, what the fuck do we do? And like, Ray goes for her emergency, like what to do in an emergency packet, which is
I just love like the design of this. Like it's like a special like slip that they keep on them at all times. It's like
something you would find like an emergency box where you have to like it's like zip tied,
Yes.
it's like sealed shut. You have to like open it and just pull out the paper and read it. And like Asuka can't find hers, and she needs to even have one.
yeah, and they have to. It basically tells them like, all right, get to HQ and
to
like
HQ
how to do it.
Through this like back, it's like back entrance through like the vents essentially. And,
there's
and Asuka wants to be the leader of the escapee, and she just like I want to hear any objection, and she's like, I don't care, and Ray's like, I don't care at all. I am not designed to care.
Yeah. One detail in the very beginning. This is kind of like one of the more obvious like what do they call that, like information dump scenes, like characters explaining things that they should already know. So the main like the crew, the Eva crew characters, like the guitar guy and the girl, they see Futsuki, who's Gendo's secondhand man, on the train, and they talk about like the Magi system, which I don't know if you caught this at all, but they basically are describing there's 3 supercomputers called the Magi that run Nerve. And also, Futsuki mentions that they run politics as well. So basically, we're told all of like the politics in like all the elections and leaders in Tokyo 3 are a sham. Everything is just decided by these 3 fucking supercomputers.
Because the car hijack he takes is like a political like.
Yes, which I think is intentionally a joke about like how unimportant that is, and how it's literally like by him commandeering this, it's like more beneficial for society than actually politics.
As we see, there's like not really many people on the streets as it is like during all this. So like.
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know if that's just kind of like a limitations from the show's like production, but Tokyo 3 does often feel really empty when it shouldn't. Sometimes it shouldn't feel this empty.
Yeah, we don't like always see a bunch like other than like when Kaji and Asuka were in the city, we kind of saw a bunch of people, but like when we have a person in the city, we just kind of hear people. We don't see anything. Yeah. Even like, the time at the convenience store, we only saw like 2 people, I think.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like kind of deserted, but it's important like
the hot spring was deserted, and like
that was also not in Tokyo 3 though.
Still
they were further away.
It was still like very barren for like a
but in the next episode we even see that there's like a mass evacuation, and there's like
traffic.
Yeah, there's like thousands and thousands of people trying to leave. So I don't know, it's just something to I guess keep in mind. But
so yeah, power is like completely out because they're trying to route the city power to like keep the bare minimum functioning at the Nerve HQ, because if everything goes there, it's just like, oh, don't worry, the backup power kick on. The backup power is offline.
They even say there's like a third backup that's not on.
And there's like, yeah, just all the little cutaway gags are like really.
There's another funny little bit. I really like the bit when like the air ventilation gets cut off, or like the air is not being like recirculated, so it gets really hot. And one of the characters like, wow, look, Gendo is so like he's handling this so well, and then it shows he has his feet in like a bucket of water.
And you're like, this bucket's warm, and like, yep.
Yeah, it's just really it's funny to see Gendo like more comedically.
But they basically say we have to get because the one guy comes in here. Because he sees the angel, which
Glasses guy. Well, he actually doesn't see the angel. The JASDF.
Yeah.
Like they know that Nerve is like shut off, so they fly an airplane over that is like piping a message out saying an angel's coming.
And so he basically has to relay. But he basically knows now there's an angel coming, so he has to be the one to relay the information.
That's when he commandeers the government vehicle.
Yeah, and as we do eventually see later on, teased up, especially during the trip into the HQ, it's like a weird like a daddy long legs kind of spider that spews acid out of its eye hole.
Yeah, I love how like the angel's almost like an afterthought in this episode. It's more about like we've created like a nightmare of logistics trying to crawl through this like no power facility, and then the angel's dealt with really quick. Yeah. But I think it's got a really cool design. But I love the reveal of the eyes.
So they basically get like the message, and they say, okay, we have to get the EVA ready manually. And like I do love Gendo going down there and doing it, like helping with it, like all the manual labor, because they have to like pull like stuff out. They cut the tubes, like And they're like, oh yeah, the pilots will be here. Oh yeah, totally.
That's one thing I do love. Like Ritsuko, for not for a second does she doubt the pilots will be there, and even Gendo. Ritsuko says this, but Gendo basically also has faith that the pilots will make it.
Yeah, and I thought they were only getting one ready, but they were getting all three of them ready, which is cool. Like,
yeah, and it's just really, I love all the details too. Like they, as you said, like in order to release the restraints, they have to like cut fluid, like
the
cut
tubes.
lines of tubes of fluid.
Instead of just disconnecting them, like normally it would probably pop off when the mech goes up. They have to like cut it out.
And it's just, I don't know, like I love those details.
And the Evas themselves, when they actually get the pilots in there, they have to like move the thing themselves out of the way instead of getting launched out, because they can't do that.
And so we didn't really talk about it, but
there's a lot of cutaways to different like people. So like
yeah, like a lot of Shinji, Asuka, and Rei's story is just them like climbing through ducts. So it's funny when they get in their Evas, the first thing we see them do is climb through more ducts.
It also be like, oh, we gotta go, left or right. Like, let's go to the right because I'm the leader, and just leads to the city. And they see the angel. Like, oh, we got confirmation of its appearance now. So let's go Rei's way.
So I think the best thing from this is like the Asuka finally confronting Rei about.
You think you're better than everybody? Like, I don't think at all.
Yeah, Rei's literally just like I'm not, and like no, I don't get special treatment, and
I still think this will lead to like I guess a Rei Asuka together episode more like with Shinji not being the third wheel.
Where
just
they
like,
kiss.
Yeah, where they kiss and hold hands. Maybe I don't know. Get nervous.
But I don't know. I really like Rei finally coming back into the story.
Yes.
Her on bouncing off Asuka is really interesting because like Shinji and Asuka are foils, but Rei and Asuka are like oil and water. Like they just can't even like interact with each other normally. Like
there's no syncing between them.
Yeah, it's crazy. And Shinji's just like
Shinji. Maybe after
whatever.
Shinji gets a cold and he can't like pilot all because he's too fucking sick. Like he's bedridden sick. Like, in Japanese like anime, how that happens. And they're gonna have to team up with Rei and Asuka. That's gonna be an episode. Really.
We'll see. But then yeah, I mean. Oh, the other thing we didn't talk about was Misato and Kaji spend the entire episode stuck in an elevator.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that they chose to do that because it's basically removing Misato from any sort of like
the leadership stuff, the planning stuff.
Yeah, but also it's like why like if she'd gotten a little bit more lucky, like if she'd waited a few more
if the elevator closed quick enough,
she wouldn't have been stuck with him.
Yeah,
but they don't really do too much
together. I was gonna
here.
say that nothing happens like compared to like the last time they were in an elevator together. Like he's like maybe he's like getting a peek under her skirt.
Yeah, the one thing that happens is there is a bit of sexual tension where he's kind of like he's like, oh yeah, you can take your shirt off. It's nothing I haven't seen before, but it's kind of really just a rehash of what we've seen in the last episode. The
teasing or whatever, the sex pesting.
Yeah, sex pesting.
But yeah, nothing happens there, and yeah, basically they have they basically have to go to a tunnel, the tunnel that would launch them up essentially, but they have to climb out manually. But and they have battery packs on them.
Yes.
And
which is pretty cool.
As we learned that like it's basically have like, the xenomorph acid blood that just melts whatever it touches, and it's trying to get to the HQ. It melt away to the HQ. Kind
of like what Ramiel did, except with instead of a drill, it's just like
acid drip. Yeah. And so basically, they get like they weren't ready for that, and they get dropped down. They drop their weapons. So they come up with a cool plan of all three of them. Where one's offense, one's defense, one's support. So the defense has to like block the acid while the offensive person just gets in position for a gun to shoot the gun, and I think the support grabs the gun. Yeah. So like, yeah. Also, Rei, her Eva is recolored now to
she's
blue. Be all blue instead of the yellow, and orange or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And so yeah. And
so the important thing is Asuka comes up with this plan, and then Asuka has kind of like a pride swallow. She kind of swallows her pride.
Yeah, because Rei's like, I'll be defensive because I'll just take the fucking hits because all she does is all Rei has been is taking all the fucking hits.
Yeah.
Going by her how she looked like in the beginning of the show. and
the Ramiel fight, she was just a big shield. But then Asuka's like, no. I'm going to do it because I got to pay Shinji back. So I guess she's not really swallowing her pride. She's kind of indulging.
She's like, why do I have to take the shot every fucking time? Like, you're our default sharpshooter.
I just want to say, for the record, the meme of, Shinji get in the robot. Shinji has dutifully gotten in the robot every single fucking episode he's needed to.
And somehow, pulled his weight, because he literally caught everybody when they were falling down the shaft, so. Yeah. And rescued Asuka.
Yeah, I hate the Shinji get in the robot meme. It's people that fucking haven't watched the series.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just funny, haha, first episode, Shinji's gonna get in the robot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we get them killing easily taking care of the evil monster.
Yeah, once they get the gun, it's really funny compared to like all the other ones
like the
where
first
bullets are totally useless.
It's like one of the first time like the actual like standard gun actually killed the Eva instead of like the small knife to the core or like a kick to the core.
I guess maybe you could say that like the eye is the core, or the core is like right behind the eye. But still, it's like, damn, this angel's pretty weak compared to the other ones.
Its weak spot was just like where he's using its ability. So once it opens up to drop the acid, like, oh, we got a free shot essentially.
Yeah. Also, that one shot of the eye leaking the acid is really, really good.
Very xenomorph like with like the acid like body fluid.
It just looks gorgeous. I love that fucking shot.
Yes.
But yeah,
and then they kill it, and everybody gets rescued from the elevator.
There's a scene where Misato's like, I'm about to bust my bladder.
I gotta piss. I gotta pee right now. Do you know Persona 4 was referencing that scene in particular in Evangelion?
But yeah, I just like I like that Asuka kind of is a little more like, she kind of puts her jealousy aside, and she's like, okay, we need to work as a team. I can't just be the showmanship one, like blah blah blah.
I put my pride aside to like having to do this together. Like there's no other way.
And she doesn't even let herself get the shot too. Normally you'd expect Asuka to be like, oh, I want to be the one with the gun.
I'll shoot gun.
I'll let Rei get melted, but no, she's
yet.
She's a good girl.
And then what's it called?
Yeah, that's really it.
Yeah, I think it really is the end of the episode.
I do like the climax here. I think it's really creative how like they need to grab onto the side. Like then the part when Asuka falls near the end, Shinji has to like brace all four of his limbs to like catch her. It's a cool visual.
It's very cool. I always say this though. I'm like, man, like Shinji's like uniform should really be going to Rei, and then give Shinji like actual like maybe a purple or like. Yeah, you got a color coordination. Asuka knows that marketing is a color coordination.
Wrong. Shinji, iconic blue and white. I fucking love Shinji's. I guess if you were to match, it would make a little bit more sense for Rei to have his, but I don't know.
Maybe just to show only Asuka cared about the marketing color scheme of it, because it's something that she would want.
I like that Asuka's is totally different because she's like totally individualistic and
she would be there wanting to stick out and like market herself out there to be like, I am the pilot.
Yeah, Rei doesn't care, so hers is all white, and Shinji's a boy, so it's blue.
You gotta have that in the white and blue. That gotta show it off. But yeah, pretty cool episode. I liked it a lot.
I like that one. It's more so like, I think we're hitting a point with these episodes where we're getting so much character development and plot.
Yeah. That
it's like more than the angel fight, which is perfect. I think this is like exactly how Eva should be.
And like I said, it's very much the Anno thing of like, what are the logistics if the power just failed for some unknown reason? That they said it was like an outside like.
We didn't talk about.
They do reference that of like, this is like it was an inside job or something.
It was
like,
a hashtag inside job.
Yeah. We're like, this is something that doesn't happen. The fact that none of the backups worked made it incredibly suspicious, which is like on top of the kind of similar to how what's it called, the other. When the one mech went crazy, when that one episode where Misato goes into it.
Oh yeah, Jet Alone, yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, they bring up the idea that there's a traitor. So some human did this, like from inside Nerve.
Yes.
So yeah, just
Kaji.
Just think about it.
Or Gendo and Kaji together do inside job to get the best out of everybody.
And they do say, I think Futsuki says it. He says, oh, they did this to see how we turn it back on. Like that was kind of the idea. They want to see like how Nerve reacts to like get their power back on.
I mean, honestly, everybody kind of handled it like they didn't panic too much.
Yeah, no, they did. Like, and that's what I love about this. It's just like Eva always puts its characters in like these dire situations, and then always gives them chances to like go above and beyond. It's really cool.
And like, oh yeah, Misato's not here to like order it or correct everybody to like where to go. This is like literally what the third strings are up to.
Yeah. And also just showing that the kids are capable, like they're able to work together even though it's hard because Asuka needs to be the center of attention.
Get into a high-tech facility through the vents Great security.
And it shows that Gendo cares. Like Gendo actually does care about this, and he's willing to get his hands dirty.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I think, oh, the shadowy, like the shadow leader of who just sits there menacingly, like is not gonna do anything. No, he gets his hands dirty, physically, like manual labor. Like, good on you.
And I really love kind of like
even Misato does that. That's probably why Misato's number 2, or the commander of them, because she'll get her hands dirty as well. Even though they weren't expecting that, but she will.
Mm-hmm. And one thing I like the bookends with this. So the beginning of the episode, Shinji calls Gendo, and Gendo's like, "This is so trivial. Why would I care about your fucking school project?"
But doesn't really
and
get
at
followed.
the end, it shows that he's like, he gets invested when it's actually important.
Yeah, and that gets more followed up the next episode at the end.
Yeah.
So
it's even further. That's why it just happened. These also paired well as like a 2 episodes in one sitting.
Yes.
Watch.
So what's the next episode titles?
The next episode is called Asuka Strikes 2. No, I'm kidding.
Asuka.
It's called The Value of Miracles, or she said, "Don't make others suffer for your hatred."
So
I love this episode.
This is another Misato episode.
This is like an everybody episode.
Yeah, but we get a lot of Misato stuff, which I haven't gotten in a while, I feel.
Yeah, we actually get a flashback to the beginning of the second impact happening.
And you gotta remember, in the Arctic, where basically she gets Goku'd, where she gets put or Superman, where he gets put into the pod and sent off to go alive, and her father just dies on top of the pod.
He does just die on top of the pod.
He rolled over and died, which is Jim's favorite death in any kind of thing.
She also, as we saw her big scar, she did take some kind of big wound to her
chest. Her jacket, side of her jacket was kind of ripped up and everything, and she kind of gets off the pod and sees it all happen. And her father gave her that cross.
The iconic cross.
Yes, that she wears sometimes.
It's more like a plus, I would say.
Yeah, it is more like a plus. But yeah, so we kind of get a little okay, something happened there. Very Arctic base went wrong, and we see wings coming out.
Oh, there's 2 sets of wings coming out of the Earth, and they're humongous.
Yes,
they're massive, and also the sound. The weird screaming sound that the presumable angel makes is so cool.
Just things if you have a base in the Arctic, it's gonna go wrong. If I learn anything from the Thing or Xenoblade Chronicles 1, something's gonna happen. Something cataclysmic, world-ending thing probably can happen in the Arctic.
Because we're talking about the Arctic or Antarctic right now, just to jump ahead because it's
they do go to Gendo and the UN ship kind of go down there.
Yes.
For some reason, and we see we see these pillars. I'm not sure it's supposed to be the very melted glaciers like that, or they're just stuff that form upside down stalactites, or what is the name of the stalagmites that come out there. I can't tell whether that could be that or ice.
Yeah, I think it might supposed to be these are the remaining glaciers that didn't completely melt. Kind of reminds me of, I guess Dark Souls came after, but the very last area of Dark Souls 1. The kiln, it kind of has those giant protruding spikes. They're more whatever. But there is, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a giant object that is wrapped up. It's a giant spear-shaped object.
Oh, I've seen that.
That's wrapped up.
I've seen that. I've got that name before. I've heard the spear that is named after the spear that's supposedly poke Jesus when he's on the cross.
Yeah, it's the Spear of Longinus.
Yes, I heard that.
The Spear of Longitude.
Spear of Longitude.
No, but we didn't actually see it yet. It is just wrapped in green tarp.
But I have seen that thing. It's one of the things that, of course, I've seen before.
I just wanted to point that out because that's something that
on many of model kits and clips I've watched.
Yeah, if you hadn't seen, or if you weren't aware of it, you wouldn't even have remembered it. Or have noticed it, but I just want to point that out. But also, Fusky does kind of make reference to this is where it all began, and calls it hell. He says basically this is hell on Earth.
But yeah, I don't know,
and the oceans are red like blood.
Yeah, he also said I'd rather want a world where there are corrupted humans, but humans that are living instead of just this desolate nothingness.
Yeah.
But kind
of going back to our actual
Misato's promote it.
Exactly.
The
Major Misato.
Yes,
she was captain before.
She's now the major.
Oh, she's the major.
So the one of the most well-known, second one most major in anime. But all the Shinji's friends are there. Aka's what are you all here? You watch me change. You're gonna perv on me, even though I have a fucking penguin probably perving on me.
There's we've never hated a woman more than you.
We would not have known nor cared if you did not tell us this.
Yeah, it is funny that Pen stays with her to watch her change.
But
that is something that animals do.
But Shinji didn't notice it at all, and Misato didn't really want it to be a big deal. And like,
yeah, she didn't even mention it.
Yeah, and they basically go off to do training essentially, and they view Shinji, Asuka, and Rei in the pods, their levels. Shinji's like pace, like he's rising with his like.
So they have like a synchronization rate, I think they call it.
Yeah.
And Asuka apparently is like.
Asuka's still super high, but Shinji's been like
high.
like rising rapidly with his levels. So.
Yeah, and it just kind of shows like Shinji definitely does get some value out of piloting the Eva, even like because this episode's kind of him discovering like why he does it.
Yes, we've seen his progress of like him actually being able to like do shit like effectively inside his suit.
Yeah, and there is of course jealousy from Asuka because Ritsuko is like, "Congrats, Shinji! Like that's great, like 8 points." And then Asuka's like, "Mine is 50 points higher," and she's like,
"Well, yes, that is true, but Shinji's like pace is going great. Like he was like born the pilot."
Yeah, and that's something Misato is like. He's like, yeah, he's born to pilot, but like he doesn't want to. Like you can tell that he really does not want to do this.
And so they basically have a party for Misato's promotion, like against her. Like Shinji didn't know. I think everybody else kind of planned. I feel like the friends planned it more than anybody else. And
they may have.
So
they did. Asuka did invite class reps. So class rep is here.
They did reference that Rei was invited, but she didn't come,
which is very funny.
And so basically they get. The biggest thing to get out of it is like Shinji kind of talks with Misato while screeching happens in the background while they're talking, having a real heart to heart.
Yeah.
Jim hearing the pen like the screeching.
They play like a pen scream like 3 times.
It's so funny.
It is very funny, and it must be looped because it happens like the same interval. But yeah, this is a really great little scene because
I do love it.
Shinji he's really like he hasn't really talked to Misato like this in a while.
Yeah.
And I just really like them being honest, and it just shows how honest Misato is too. Like she doesn't lie to him about like how happy she is. She's just like, this really doesn't mean that much to me. It's not why I'm here. I don't care about any of this really. I'm just whatever. I just say, hey, I get to drink beer.
Promotions mean like nothing here really.
Yeah, and Shinji's kind of like, huh. It's really like interesting because Shinji's like a child that's like he's coming aware of like the world, and he's understanding like oh wow, people all have their own different motivations, and like everyone is different than I am. Not everyone goes by the same rules, and it's just I don't know. I find this conversation to be like very real.
Yeah,
it's very like grounded.
Yeah, and like I say, I love Misato just like speaking from her chest, like nothing to hide.
And then I don't know if it's revealed here or maybe a little bit later, but this is kind of where it ties into the flashback because Misato says like, yeah, I don't care about the promotion. The real reason I'm here is to kill the fucking angels.
I'm gonna kill them all.
It's revenge. Kill them all, Peter.
Kill them all, Aaron.
And I think was Kaji and Ritsuko come into the scene as well, and Misato and Asuka are both jealous immediately, thinking, oh, they just were
Asuka's
fucking.
definitely jealous. Misato's probably more pissed that they showed up together. Like I fucking hate these two.
And I don't know if it's here or if it's a little later, but Ritsuko does say that. Oh no, I think it's a little bit later, but. Ritsuko talks to Misato alone, and she's basically like you're just pretending to do this for the safety of everyone. Like you're really doing this for revenge. Like this is this is you trying to get revenge on the angels.
Yes.
And she doesn't say no.
Yeah, and then we also cut away to I guess we're learning about the angel of the episode. It's kind of like in space dive bombing stuff with like its goo.
Yes.
And essentially, it's gonna become a meteor and just like crash down and like nuke the HQ essentially.
Yeah, I love the design of this one. I think it's so cool looking.
It looks very cool.
It's also just like I love that the angels start to get weirder and like more incomprehensible. Like,
Yes.
It's massive. First off, it's probably the biggest one that they've fought so far. Maybe Ramel might be bigger.
Yeah.
But it does lose its mass because it's like dropping bits of itself into the ocean.
Yeah.
But yeah, it basically like they have a certain amount of time where they need to evacuate everyone because it's going to just drop itself right on the HQ.
Destroyed satellite, so they can't really track where it's getting. They have like I guess like enough data to like predict it, and it's like, okay, we're gonna get there's 3 like areas that it can possibly land at. We got 3 EVA units, so you guys gotta whoever gets closest has to catch it and like basically repel it enough. And it is like call it an intuition. Like you can't even play you're addicted to the lottery and you can never win. Like
I love that. Also, yeah, just seeing like Misato just being like very determined the whole time, despite
And she's in charge because
having
Gendo's
no
not
chance. Yeah. And the thing that she promises the kid, she's basically like, hey, yeah, you need to like sign your wills, like, because you might not make it. Like, we might not make it. And they're all just like, I don't know.
Even risk is like it's like a 0.1% chance of like.
I think she even says like she's like it's not even 1,000,000 to 1 odds. It's like worse than that.
She like and then Misato goes like bet. And then just like goes to do it, and all the kids like, you guys probably won't survive. You guys can just say no to it. And like, we're gonna I'll buy you all steak dinner. Yeah. Like Poggers a steak dinner. Like she doesn't know what kids want because we don't even care about steak dinners.
Yeah, which I had the like horrifying realization in this moment that Misato is a millennial and Shinji, Asuka, and Rei are Gen Zers, Zoomers, if you will. And it's just hilarious to me that they're like, Asuka's like, kids of our generation don't care about steak dinners.
We want ramen.
Well, they choose ramen,
I
but
know.
they're presumably they want to get like some other high end food.
Give us candy.
Yeah, give me candy. But then Rei's like, I don't want to go because I don't like meat. And it's like, all right,
you're a vegan. You're showing your vegan agenda on us.
I don't know. I like that little detail with Rei.
Little character thing we didn't know about her that she's I guess a vegan or vegan or vegetarian.
Yeah.
Very hot in this room. Okay.
So the I can't remember if this happens after. Oh, this happens after. Never mind. But we have the sequence, and I fucking love this. As you described it, it's like they have to position everyone at certain points because they don't know where it's going to land. So basically, Shinji just happens to be the one that gets there first because it's the closest.
He basically has to do like a. Like you know in Dragon Ball Z where they have to like catch like the blast and try to like push it back.
Yeah,
it's like very much like that, or like in like Metal Gear Rising where like you catch like the mech and you have to like mash the button to like push it back.
Yeah, it's a quick time event.
Yeah,
I love this scene. It's really epic. It's a really great like hero moment for Shinji to like charge in first. I also like something I will compliment the Rebuild movie. This scene's happening in the second Rebuild movie.
Okay,
the animation in that scene is so fucking cool.
I wonder how far each movie kind of went up with the original series because
it starts to play really loose with it.
Yeah, I know it plays loose eventually, but I remember you telling me the first episode basically is like a 1-for-1 essentially. Yeah. I'm not sure how far that would go up to in episode wise, or they cut Magma Diver and just like.
I think the first movie does the first 6 episodes, then the second movie just totally goes off the rails. But
yeah, okay.
This scene this fight is adapted in it, and it's like so fucking cool how they animate like the giant mechs running full speed. I just love that. These scenes look really good in the like TV anime too. Yeah, it looks great in the movie.
One thing we didn't really mention in the last episode was like the episode on Netflix was like very pixely when all the darkness in it.
Oh yeah,
maybe they try to brighten it up a little bit and just like showed pixels a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if maybe just the.
I was gonna say I was like gonna mention Jim. Like Jim's gonna think I'm like a weird nitpicker, but like noticing this, but you noticed it. Thank God.
Yeah, no, it was kind of weird.
But yeah, they repel it. I feel like there was a point where didn't like Misato was like talking to Asuka and about we're talking to Shinji where he like doesn't know like because like oh yeah he just keeps like Asuka thinks like he keeps like nitpicky about everything and like talking about like Shinji like or it basically talking about what does Asuka not like about Shinji because she's talking to Shinji like in the car or something. There's a part and she's like why doesn't like Asuka like keep butting heads with me and like or like God
I forget.
There's a part with that and she's like oh yeah because he keeps like not wanting to think for himself.
Oh yeah, that was at the very end.
Yeah.
I think that was at the very end.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forget which episode, but it was this one.
It was near the end, but yeah. So they fight, and then they have Rei and Asuka join, and then I think Asuka's the one that gets to kill. Technically, she uses a progressive knife.
Yeah. Well, Shinji's like holding it in place, and the animation I love the most about this, where like Rei pries open the AT field essentially, and then she stabs it with like the knife. And then just calls like a nuke to go off, essentially a giant crater.
It's a massive explosion because it's so fucking huge.
And then and they beat it. And good job, Misato. That's a good plan. And then we get a call from Gendo finally, reconnection. And then like, hey Shinji, good job.
And Shinji doesn't even know how to respond. He's like, thank you, Papa. And then we have like kind of a little epilogue. They choose to go to get ramen because they know that Misato has no fucking money.
He wants that garlic ramen, no pork.
And they also Rei would come if they got ramen instead of getting steak.
Yes.
And they have a bit of a discussion. I think if it's not here, it's like
After.
it's a different scene, but Shinji asks Asuka like why she pilots the Eva. And he says,
why do you do it?
She says she does it to show how great she is.
She does it for ego.
Yeah,
for
essentially.
Pride.
She wants to show the world how great she is. And then he's like, I already asked Ray, which Ray basically just said like
on orders.
Yeah. So his kind of little revelation at the end is he's like, maybe I like getting praised. Maybe I like people telling me I'm a good boy.
I mean, getting attention that I never gotten before.
Yeah, and
kind of I'm trying to think of Asuka does it for like build up her ego, which Shinji just wants to get like affection.
He wants positive affirmation. He wants
somebody to be proud of him.
Yeah, which I mean, it makes sense. He has no parents. He has no dad. Like
everybody has parent issues or dead. Either parents are dead, dying, or probably like they're just not a person really.
Yeah, your parents are either dead or you have daddy issues or both.
Or neglect.
And then the funniest thing at the end, I think, is Asuka saying, I think she calls Shinji an idiot for that being the reason why he wants to be, why he likes piloting the Eva is, she's like, really? You do it for that reason?
Your trauma is that? Ew. Like, my
trauma's better.
Ray's like, I am nothing but trauma. Misato's like, they haven't seen the second impact trauma of my millennial drama. Like, oh my god, everybody gotta have some kind of drama. If you're a main character in this, you got some kind of bullshit going on. But yeah, pretty cool episode. I said I love just the action scene of him like grabbing the thing and just prying it open. I can't wait.
Awesome.
And you just mentioned this in like the second rebuild, so I'm curious. It'd be cool to see what that looks like in in a movie budget.
They do. It's like the running part's cool. The part where they catch it is a little different and weird.
Okay,
we'll get to it.
Yeah,
we'll watch it eventually. I wonder if we should just skip the first rebuild movie.
I don't know. I kind of like.
It is literally just episodes 1 through 6.
But do they introduce Mari in it though?
No.
Really?
No. You have to watch the after credits for the first rebuild.
I will just watch the after. Maybe if I want to on my own, I could just watch it if I want to.
Because I watched it kind of recently, like a few months ago.
I'll buy a model kit and I'll build a model kit while watching it, like the dub of it or something.
The only thing that is like different or new is the after credits scene, and of course they reanimate the fight. Like the fights look great, but I'm just saying like plot wise, it is essentially just the episode, like the first.
I'm sure somebody in the comments
episodes.
could like say like if it's really worth it or anything new or just the fight scene to watch.
Yeah,
I want to see the gun snipe.
You definitely got to watch the Ramel fight is incredible. The sound design and the part. There's a part where he shoots his laser and it like melts a whole mountain, and it looks incredible. Like the animation is just great in those movies.
I'd be interested to see that
until the fourth one, when they start using only CG.
Oh no,
Evas.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I'm sad. But anything else? I like this episode.
I love this episode.
Very cool team building exercises, I guess. I'm glad to get another Misato episode. I love her a lot.
Misato had been kind of like a side character.
She's been like gets a love triangle. I don't even know what to call because half these romance are like one-sided completely, and like I feel like Misato is like doesn't care about him anymore. It's still just the weird being around your ex kind of stuff, and he's still a sex pest. Like Your Ex is a Sex Pest is like my favorite new light novel that I just made.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I love this episode. I love this development for Shinji. It's like it's such a I don't know, like the more I watch the series, the more I appreciate Shinji's arc.
And maybe just like Gendo like learning about all his like he just wants to find information would just make this is gonna encourage his will raise his stats big now. And just give him big ups. I'll just manipulate him just to be a better pilot like that instead of actually doing it for like affection. So.
But yeah, I mean, I really like these two episodes. I don't know what the next one is.
Well, Jim, it's episode 12 and this was 12 and 13. This is 11 and 12, or
this was 11 and 12.
Okay. 13 and 14.
Why is my screen?
Wow, we hit the halfway point minus movies.
Okay, the next episode might be one of the worst ones.
Is this the one that you say is probably one of your least favorite?
One of my least favorite ones. And then I think and then episode 14.
If you're getting
half of episode 14 is a clip show, so we will skip that.
Well, okay, so we'll have a 3-episode one next one, I think.
Probably.
Okay.
Let me see what episode
clip
15
show.
The woman longed for the touch of another's lips.
Ooh,
and
sounds
thus
hot and
invited
spicy.
Their kisses. Boop-a-doo. Boop-a-doo.
This is...
Yeah, we'll probably do 3 next time.
I'm surprised they did a clip show.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because it's literally half the episode. The other half is like so important you cannot miss it. But
Important clip show.
the first half is a clip show.
Not every clip show can be the Avatar: Last Airbender clip show episode where they do a funny way, unique way to do it.
Yeah, that was fun.
my pick next time would just be Avatar: Last Airbender.
The movie.
The live action movie.
Aren't they doing a new live action?
They are I think it's a live action series. I think. Unfortunately, we're gonna see a group of 10 Earthbenders doing their move, and then one pebble coming by again.
All right.
I would love to rewatch Last Airbender. Honestly,
it's been so long. I've seen that movie too many times though.
No, just a show though. We watched the show, not the movie.
I would love to. I wanted to do that recently.
We can. I mean, that could be a solid Sam pick.
That would be. I would love to watch Avatar.
Our favorite anime, and then watch Ruby. We alternate between we watch one book of Avatar, then one book of Ruby. And mix and match.
All right.
On 2 monitors, playing both at the same time.
No.
But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I like me some Misato episodes. I like her a lot.
So Ava's good.
Again, it's pretty good.
Ava's a masterpiece. And the more I watch it, the more I'm just like, this show is the best anime ever. It's just, everything about this anime is incredible.
I appreciate the good like cutaway like jokes thing of it. Like I said, I love that bit in Austin Powers. So even though it came out before, I love it that like.
Is that an Ava reference?
Yeah, I mean it could be a joke. I'm not sure if it probably is a term for it, but I do love that like answer it immediately kind of joke.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm done.
Okay, what am I plugging?
Who do they fight in the second half?
Come on, I'm letting you decide my plug.
Plug the entry plug. Manually do what Gendo did and put the entry plug back into the manually pull the chains to move the entry plug.
Sure. Well, thank you all again for listening to this. You can do all the YouTube stuff, which is to like, to comment, and to subscribe if you haven't already. You can also follow the podcast on Twitter or Beard Gym separately, or you can follow the Discord or join the Discord. And with that, we will see you next time. I guess we'll do 3 episodes. Or I guess technically with the episode, how it is 2.5 episodes.
Yeah, we'll probably just not watch the first. I can't remember if there's actually anything new in those.
We'll see how. We'll watch it. See if it's just like a clip show beforehand, or like a clever way to like. Where they discuss about it. Remember the time we caught the angel? We sniped the angel?
I think it actually is kind of, if I remember
like a Family Guy setup?
No, I think what they do is it's like a review. It's like an internal review where Nerve is like going over each one. I think that might be where the angels get names.
Oh, okay.
They canonically are named.
Because there is a point where Shinji even mentioned at one point.
Yes, he did.
That they all have angel names and like. Where did what the fuck's up with the angels, guys? Like, that's not we don't need to think about that.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. Yeah, the part when Shinji asked them, like, what do you guys think about the angels? And Asuka's like, shut up.
Shut up, nerd.
Shut up,
Don't think about it. That's not for this episode. It's safe for later development.
Yeah.
But he did mention they all get like biblical names essentially.
Going by what he said, which could have been because technically he could have been referring to the term angel, but the way it was written, it sounded like each angel had a different like reference name to the Bible.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do canonically have those names.
Yes.
So I don't know if they might be said in the next episode or in the clip show episode.
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
And we'll see you then.
Yeah. Then. Bye.
Bye.